Hello everyone and welcome to today's online class for class 11. Chemical bondings are of three types: electrovalent or ionic bonding, covalent bonding and dative bond. An electrovalent bond is formed by two ions of opposite charge. One ion being cation is formed by the release of one or two electrons from its valence shell, and the anion is formed by accepting one or two incoming electrons into its own valence shell, and thus forming an anion and negatively charged ions. Now the bonds between these two oppositely charged ions are electrostatic in nature. The formation, the criteria or the factors affecting the formation of this electrovalent or ionic bond there are six criteria. The first one is that the number of valence electron that the atom of an element that needs to consist is of 1, 2, 3 or 5, 6, 7. The atoms of elements which consist 1, 2 or 3 valence electron, they can easily release all of their 1, 2 or 3 electrons by the expense of ionization energy. When they are releasing all their valence electron, they are getting their stable Nobel gas configuration, because all the inner electrons or the inner orbitals are fully filled. Now, because of this thing, when an atom or elements in their valence shell consist 1, 2 or 3 electrons, they tend to release all their electrons to produce their respective cations. Oppositely, the elements in the valence shell which consist 5, 6 or 7 electrons only, by acquiring 3 electrons or 2 electrons or 1 electron, they can produce their respective anions very easily. And electron affinity energy is released. Now, these two types of elements in their ionic form, when are combined together, they tend to have a electrostatic attraction between them, which later on produce an electrovalent bond or ionic bond. So, not any two types of elements or atom, if you just combine together, cannot form an ionic bond. The atoms which in their valence shell possess 1, 2 or 3 electron or 5, 6 or 7 electron, when you are combining these two types of atoms in the oxidation state, charged oxidation state, then they tend to combine with the help of an electrostatic force of attraction, or you can say they form an ionic bond, or electrovalent bonding. The second factor that affects is the difference between the electronegativity of the atoms. If the electronegativity between the atoms that are combining is extremely huge, in that case, one atom having an extremely high electronegative compared to the other atom propel the other atom to release one electron very easily, and that atom accept the released electron to form an anion. And on the other hand, the atom which has released the electrons is formed the cation, making the two atom combine in an electrovalent bond or ionic bond. So, when two atoms having higher electronegativity combine, they tend to form the electrovalent bond or ionic bond. Therefore, higher the difference between the electronegativity between the combining atoms, higher is the ease of formation of an electrovalent bond. Size of the ion is another factor that that affects the formation of ionic bond. It has been observed that if the size of the cation is larger and the anion that is combining, if the size of the anion is smaller, in that case the bond that has been formed is comparatively much stronger ionic bond. So, to have a very strong ionic bond, to have a very ease in formation of ionic bond, a cation having larger in size and an anion having a smaller size combined together and very easily form an ionic bond. The next criteria that needs to be followed is the ionization enthalpy and electron affinity. Now, ionization affinity is the energy that is required by an atom in its gaseous state to release 1 or 2 of its valence electron to produce the cation. So, if an atom or element is having 1, 2 or 3 valence electron and have a easily can release electron, in that case higher amount of energy is not needed by the atom to produce the cation. Smaller amount of energy, ionization energy, can be given to it, and very easily the atom will release its electron, 1, 2 or 3 electron, and produce its own respective cations. So smaller amount of ionization enthalpy, those elements which possess smaller amount of ionization enthalpy, they tend to easily release electron to form the cation. On the other hand, the energy released after element acquire 1 or 2, after an element accept 1 or 2 electron in its valence shell to produce an anion, the energy released after the after this incorporation or the formation of anion is known as the electron affinity. Now this energy, if the element sorry, just got a power cut off. I was talking about the electron affinity. Now when an atom having an electron accepting capacity very easily, what I'm trying to say is that it can accept electron very easily. In that case, higher amount of electron affinity is released, higher amount of energy is released after the formation of the anion. So an element which possesses small amount of ionization energy and higher amount of electron affinity, in that case those kinds of element when combined together, they tend to form a very good, very strong ionization, very strong ionic bond. The last one, the fifth one, is the magnitude of the charge. Now ionic bond or electrovalent bond is the result of the electrostatic force of attraction between the two oppositely charged ions. Higher will be the electrostatic force of attraction between the oppositely charged ion, better will be the ionic bond formed. Now the charge on the combining ions, if it is bigger, if it is higher, in that case it will produce higher amount of or more stronger electrostatic attraction between the charged atoms, between the charged ions, which will result stronger ionic or electrovalent bond. That is why higher the charge on the ions that is combining, higher or stronger will be the electrostatic force of attraction that will result in stronger ionic bond. The last one is the lattice enthalpy. Now enthalpy is a synonymous word of energy. We are going to study about this in the thermodynamics chapter. It is just another synonymous term to represent energy. So lattice enthalpy or lattice energy is the energy that is released after some ionic compound form a crystal. So ionic compounds tend to form crystals. Stronger will be the ionic bond, stronger will be the, or more strong will be the crystal form. So when higher amount of lattice enthalpy is released after the formation of a crystal, ionic crystal, that will tend to mean that the ionic compound itself is extremely strong. Therefore, higher amount of lattice enthalpy will be stronger is the ionic compound that has been formed. Lattice energy is the amount of energy that is being released or evoked after 1 mole of oppositely charged ion combines by close packing, that is the crystallization, by doing crystallization to form an ionic compound in its solid state. Now this entire concept can be explained with this general equation transformation, that is M plus is a cation in its gaseous state, and it is combining with X minus anion in the gaseous state to produce MX, an ionic compound in the solid state. That is, the crystalline ionic compound is being formed when these two oppositely charged cations are combining together, and amount of energy is released, that is denoted by U. This U, or amount of energy released after this formation of crystalline ionic compound by the combination of these two ions, is known as the lattice enthalpy that is being released. Now, this is a direct parameter that determines that is being used to determine whether the ionic compound that is being formed is stronger or not. If U is found to be higher, that implies that the ionic compound, the crystal ionic compound that is being formed is extremely strong, therefore extremely stable, extremely strong, therefore higher amount of energy is released in the form of lattice enthalpy. If U is found to be smaller, this implies that the ionic compound that is being formed is weaker in nature, and that's why lower amount of energy has been released. As a result, U is found to be small. So this is a very good parameter to determine the stability of the ionic compound form. This U cannot be determined directly just by observing a chemical equation, but it has been observed that this U is directly proportional with the product of the charges of ions by distance between the oppositely charged ions. That is, U, or lattice enthalpy, is directly proportional with the charges of the ions and inversely proportional with the distance between the oppositely charged ions. This means that when charges of the ions are extremely high and then they combine with each other, the U will be high, that is the lattice enthalpy that is evolved will be high, which implies that a stronger bond has been formed. Oppositely, when the distance between, U is inversely proportional with the distance between the ions of the oppositely charged ion, therefore when the distance is found to be between the oppositely charged ion that are combining is small, in that case higher amount of ionization, higher amount of lattice enthalpy that will be released after the formation of the ionic compound. This is the observation that can be observed, that has been observed regarding lattice enthalpy. Now, this lattice enthalpy cannot be determined directly, but just can be observed with the help of this observation. But it can be theoretically calculated. Lattice enthalpy can be theoretically calculated by Bond-Land equation. Which is saying that U equals to minus of A E square Z plus Z minus by R whole into 1 minus 1 by N. This is Bond-Land equation. With the help of this thing, theoretically the magnitude of lattice enthalpy can be calculated. N is the Avogadro number, Z plus is the amount of cations, numbers of cations, and Z minus is the numbers of anions. E is the charge of the ions, R is the distance between the oppositely charged ions, N is known as the bond exponent, N is known as the bond exponent, and A is known as the Madelung constant. Now these all have their own theoretical denotation. These all notation have their own theoretical representation. This thing is the Bond-Land equation, with the help of which the lattice enthalpy is theoretically calculated, but it cannot be actually observed. Only they cannot be directly observed. Only a direct theoretical observation can be made, whether comparative observation can be made with the help of this theory. That is, U is directly proportional with the charge of the ions and inversely proportional with the distance between the ions.